Our gospel reading this week is from Luke chapter 18, verses 1 through 8. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus told his disciples a parable about the necessity for them to pray always without becoming weary. He said, "There was a judge in a certain town who neither feared God nor respected any human being. And a widow in that town used to come to him and say, 'Render a just decision for me against my adversary.' For a long time the judge was unwilling, but eventually he thought, 'Well, it is true that I neither fear God nor respect any human being. Because this widow keeps bothering me, I shall deliver a just decision for her, lest she finally come and strike me.' The Lord said, 'Pay attention to what the dishonest judge says. Will not God then secure the rights of his chosen ones who call out to him day and night? While will he be slow to answer them? I tell you, he will see to it that justice is done for them speedily. But when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth?'" And yes, this is one of those parables where you say, okay, if God is in the parable, who could God be? Could God be that unjust judge, that person who doesn't really care about anybody? Or is God that nagging widow who just won't let go? Well, I hope in most of our cases we choose the latter, because God is always there for us. God is always there knocking at our door. If only we would pay attention, if only we would pay attention more than just when we have everything fall down on us and everything is a petition, a want from God, rather than remembering to ever give blessings to God for all the blessings that are bestowed on us all week long. Too many times our prayer is simply a prayer of, gimme God. I want this, I want that, give me this, give me that. And we forget that our prayers should also be of thanksgiving for so much that God has given us. So if prayer is really our communication with the Almighty, our talking to God, yes, we should pray constantly. It should be part of our everyday life that, you wake up in the morning, you put on your socks like you're putting on God and say, "What do you want from me today?" And as you look at the prayer life that you have and begin to develop as you move forward, you recognize that, hey, God is always there for us. It's never God who walks away from us. It's us who choose to split. It's we who forget to follow through on what we call ourselves Christians. We call ourselves Christians, but we live in hate, we live in abuse, we live in all kinds of situations that don't give a rat about anybody else. We hang on to bitterness forever just because it's fun, it's something to talk about. God's waiting for us to just turn our lives around, to recognize that God has blessed us in so many ways. If only we could accept those blessings. And no truer truth is then finally somebody who is like that judge, somebody who's gone down the wrong path forever and a day, sometimes when they hit bottom, that's exactly when they finally turn to God. And we look at that today, and we look at abuses going on, people not being recognized, and we know that we have a part to play in that. We need to love our neighbors as ourselves. And when we do that, we do it because we are in constant communication with the God who loves us, the God who always wants us back, the God who expects us to understand that God is always there for us. God is always knocking at our door. Let us remember that God is there. Reach out and talk. Reach out. Talk to God. It doesn't have to be formal prayer. It's just recognizing that God is always there for us. And recognizing, too, that people like the unjust judge, people like anybody that you might know that you kind of don't like, there's always room for improvement, and they could always change. And people said, Amen.